guys, Noli here and welcome to my channel. So in today's video we will check new tier 7 Tech 3 Russian battleship Sinop, and hopefully this ship will come out in the next few days. And I think it's really good ship, so I really like her. I think she performs much better than what it was to tier 8. So I was quite surprised. In terms of scoring overall, I would give her 4 from 5. So I was happy with her. Survivability 4 from 5. So she has actually the second largest HP pool next to Hood, but a much better citadel protection, fire and flooding, damage reduction, and torpedo damage reduction than Hood. Maneuverability is also relatively okay. You have slow ships like West Virginia, Colorado, or Nelson on tier 7, so I think she's good, or average, let's say. Then guns 4 from 5. So it is a Russian battleship, so she struggles with dispersion on long ranges, but it is not that noticeable as in Vladivostok, I think. That's just like my impression, right? And then AA, I would give her again 3 from 5. Of course, you have ships like Ashitaka, or who else has very weak? Mutsu, I think, is very weak. Nelson is, of course, Nelson, I forgot it, is very weak on AA, so I think that she's relatively decent with AA. For this video, I would compare her to Colorado and Nagato because they are Tech 3 ships, and then also with Poltava as a premium Russian tier 7 battleship. So let's check it now. So you can see here survivability, and you can see here maneuverability. So in terms of survivability, as you see, she has the biggest HP pool of these 4 ships, right? She has even decent, so they all have the same citadel protection, 12.5%. And she has relatively good also fire and flooding. She has even higher fire and flooding resistance than Colorado. Although she is prone to catch fires and flooding, same as Vladivostok. Then damage reduction is relatively decent, and then also torpedo damage reduction is less than Colorado, but let's say a little bit less than Nagato and a little bit better than Polta. And then in terms of maneuverability, as you can see here, so she is on 26.67 knots, relatively okay acceleration, and let's say similar turn time. I think Nagato is Poltava is a little bit faster, right? Okay, so that is about survivability and maneuverability. Then let's check guns. As you can see here, comparison, guns, she has 9 406mm guns, so they are really good in terms of penetration, possibility to get citadel. She has, I think, highest AP damage for just a little bit higher than Colorado, let's say, or West Virginia. And I think Nagato is one, maybe a little bit higher than Nagato. And she has really good turret traversal speed, and that's also very helpful sometimes, right, with tracking DD0 cruisers. The problem is again long range dispersion, but it's not. I had a feeling it's not that drastic as with Vladivostok. That's just my personal impression, and it's much easier to collect damage than Vladivostok. In Vladivostok, you struggle sometimes to get this damage output or DPM. In Sinop, it goes quite fast and relatively easy, and this is something that I was quite happy in these few games that I had with her. It really was not problem to collect, I don't know, 70-80k damage for tier 7. That's really good. So I really like ships that have this high damage output, so I was quite happy with that, right? And so that is in terms of guns. And then she has also decent secondary guns, as you can see here, right? And secondary, outer secondary guns. And then in terms of AA, as I said, so she's relatively okay, average, let's say. I mean, you won't take a lot of planes, but nonetheless, if you compare, for example, with Colorado, she has more large caliber. Yes, here is a comparison between Colorado, Nagato, Poltava, and Sinop, and you can see that she's relatively okay. What else is maybe worth mentioning is that she, this is my LHE bonus, and then she has also one extra damage control kit, same as Vladivostok, right? And she has precise aiming system too. So yeah, let's jump now into the battle, but overall I was quite pleased with her, and I think she can perform in tier 7 quite good. I would even say, like, you know, on the same level, even maybe even better than Colorado and Nagato. So she's really good tech 3 ship. Yeah, I honestly have to say. Okay, let's jump now into the battle and see how she's performing there. So as you will see now in the battle, okay, we got one Citadel, but as you will see now in the battle, I was rather lucky with positioning because I was keeping these ships. So we have what is it, Lyon, we have there New Orleans, and then we have also, was it Bayern or something, on the left side for me, and I was keeping them on 5, 6, 7 kilometers, so that's the optimal range for Sinop, right? And as you can see, so I'm also relatively lucky here. I'm not losing so much health, and that's good. But she is prone to get fires and flooding, and you really have to keep that in mind, that, you know, a lot of HE shells or torpedoes will cause you fire and flooding, right? So in terms of her pros, she has a relatively big HP pool. She has good guns, good secondary and anti-secondary guns, good penetration and dispersion at mid-range. She can stack damage relatively easily, and she has okay maneuverability, honestly. And then in terms of cons, she can lose HP relatively easily, not in this battle, but yeah. And she's prone to fires and flooding, as I said, you know. So the name of the game is to try to keep, as you can see here, to be in this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kilometer range, and not to get focused by everybody, because you can lose HP relatively easily. And I know it's tricky, but she's much more forgiving. So she doesn't lose HP that fast. As you saw here, I had this New Orleans, I had Bayern, I had Lyon, and I didn't lose such a big amount of HP, so she's definitely easier to play than Vladivostok, right? But yeah, so what I really appreciate in this ship is it's not such a big problem to stack the damage like in Vladivostok, and that's really helpful, right? And you have to be careful if you see like some kind of fire starting ship like Shorsh or Atlanta or, you know, planes. You have to be careful because you will caught or get a lot of fires and flooding. Then in terms of play style, so as already told, so don't show your broadside to not to lose too much health. Try to close this distance to this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kilometer range if possible, but don't push too much because you will get punished. And then watch for these fires and flooding. So that means that, you know, try to keep away from these fire starting ships, or if, you know, CVs coming after you, try to stay a bit back, right? But overall, I think you can relatively easily use her maneuverability on your advantage, and guns, and I think she's really good ship, as you can see in this battle. Okay guys, I hope you liked it, find it useful. Please hit like and subscribe button, and see you in the next video, hopefully relatively soon. Bye!